Hi, this is Frank Rodriguez Villela. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is our 4th lesson. And I want to just thank everybody for following and checking it out. I've heard some nice comments and I want to thank you for that. I want to show 2 things first. I'm going to use a standard classical guitar. The standard classical guitar, they'll call them 4x4s, or they call them standard size. Standard size, again, is where it's, again, 650 from here to there. And this was a really nice little guitar that I picked up. And it's very inexpensive, and I really like them. I want to show one because basically I've been using steel strings on the other lessons. So this is a standard classical, which I like for beginners. Either this one, a standard classical, or even a small one. So in this case, it's a standard classical 4x4. And I also have this. I have an actual strap that we put together. It's a mariachi style strap. The actual, it goes behind your neck. Right now I have it behind the collar, so it can go behind the neck. It's like a neck strap type of way to position the instrument. Neck straps are used on saxophones. They use them on all different kind of wind instruments. I think stuff like oboe has it, and clarinet, and there's other instruments that carry a neck strap. This one, actually, you don't have to do any drilling. Just put the strap behind your neck, and then you actually have a little hook, and the hook is the one that goes inside here, and then you just place it in there. Then the weight holds it in position. Okay, now you have basically the instrument in position to play. Mariachis use it, or in Mexican restaurants, there's guys that stroll around and play at the table, and this is the kind of strap they use. It's called, it's in Spanish it's called tali, but it's actually Willie Nelson uses one. So he has a really nice, cool one. So this is what we use, and if you have any questions, I'll put a description so we can help you get one or the instrument, whichever. But I just sort of like these instruments. Now I'm going to talk a little bit. I talked about, at the last lesson, I talked about arpeggios. And I realized, I said, oh, people might not know what an arpeggio is. But an arpeggio is basically a chord. And chords are, once we start playing more, we end up playing chords. And chords are it's basically, it's 2 or more notes played at the same time. Usually you hear like a strum like this. But arpeggios are where you individually hit each string. So instead of doing this, you go like this. So you separate them. We call them broken chords. Sometimes they go from low to high, or sometimes they go high to low. Okay, now for this, it does take a little bit of practice, because it seems like it's going faster, but it's not. It's just that you have to skip strings. So right now I want to show you what I do when I actually skip the string. So I want you to see how I position the hand, and the hand will actually, and again it's the same thing, a support back here, and then the fingers go on the strings, and really I like to do this. I like the thumb to sort of play the low notes. I like them to play the 6, 5, and the 4. Okay, so that's where that is. And then with these, the treble strings, which is the 3rd string, 2nd string, and the 1st, I like using the index fingers or the middle, or a combination of both. Right now, since we're just getting going, it might be easier just to play the actual trebles with the index finger. So when we play, we'll play low note and then the high note, or actually in this case, 1st note, 2nd note, 1st note, 2nd note, 1st note, 2nd note. And okay, so for these, we're obviously going to use those motions, the thumb and the index, but you can choose to do, if you feel index is easier, index and middle. So you can do index, middle, index, middle. That can work too. Or you can actually do, some people can do a combination of thumb, index, middle, back to the index, and back to the thumb. Nice thing, it lands on the thumb on the downbeat. So if I go 1 and 2 and down, that when I hit the thumb, that was right on the downbeat, which is sort of nice. The other thing, people will use hybrid picking styles, and a good friend of mine would play, great guitarist, would use the actual pick, and he holds the pick, and then he actually will play the second note or the arpeggio, or just basically we use that as another picking. So you have the thumb and index holding the pick, and then the actual middle finger just playing the second note. So it sounds like this. So that's sort of interesting. It's almost like having a thumb pick. And remember, thumb picks look like this. You can, again, it's just whatever's easier. I like these little picks. And so this is, okay, you gotta pick what's comfortable for you, And so, all right, so now let me explain what the chart is. The chart here is basically, we're introducing 2/4, which is 2/4, the actual number 2 on the top here is the 2 beats per measure. So each of these little squares is worth 2 beats. And then the 4 is that the quarter note is getting the beat. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And obviously those half notes are all here. There's your repeat signs. And I have an ending. This is something real typical you see in music. You have basically this one line, and it's repeating back to here, back to 5. It's going to go, and then actually instead of, say like in the second time, instead of going to the 6, you just go and skip to the second line. So it's sort of, these are just exercises. They're not really, it's not a song, just an exercise. So it's something, but it's a way that we can use this as just a way to connect everything together if we want to play it together. That way it flows a little nicer. And then, so the last one doesn't really have a little repeat. It just has a fine. Fine means, or you can, it's spelled fine. Fine is the way you can say it, but it's fine means ending. That means once we get to this measure on the last time, which is, we repeat each one twice. So on the last time, we just end it. So we'll just end it. In this case, it's they're all 8 notes, and so the 8 notes have the it's basically 1 and 2 and it's 1 and 2 stop. So that's technically that. You would actually at that point just stop the music. And then the second one, number 4 and number 5 have a little ending. I mean, you can basically connect these two together. You don't have to actually connect any of them. You can basically play them however you want to when you practice them. But in this case, you have, we're gonna go ahead and start on number 4. We'll start here, repeat, and then when we get a second time run, when we play it, we just end on the first beat, 1, rest. So this is the quarter note rest. The quarter note rest is, basically, it's where we do not play. There's silence. So it's, in this case, it'll be like 1, 2, 1, off, your rest. Same thing here. You have a quarter note rest, but now you have 2 8 notes. So the ending would be, I'll play the last one. I'll play 5 so you can hear what it sounds like. So 5, it's 1 and 2 and here's third string, second string, first string, second, third, 4, 5. So that was basically that little ending there. All right, so let's try it, and I'm gonna use fingers for today, and I'm gonna use, I'm using the thumb and index. So we're gonna do this fairly slow. We'll go at 65, and 65 is, lots of times in other books, they or other books, music books, or method books, they give you tempo markings, and I'll show that next time. But it would be, in this case, I'm doing 65 beats per minute. So it's and they'll actually put the markings here. It goes 65 equals the quarter note. So I'll next time I'll explain that so you can see it. I don't want to overwhelm anybody right now with too many numbers. So right now we're at 65. Here's my my metronome. So I'm going to use thumb and index and look at the strings for sure, you know, to make sure where you are. 1, 2, ready, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, repeat the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to 2, 3, 4, 5, second line, quarter notes, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 8 notes. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, and 2, and okay, so those were the first 3 lines. They were all connected. Let's do the next one. The next one is 4. This is where it's not going faster, you're just moving to the next string faster. This is where the alternating really helps. So again, I'm sorry, there are pick markings here, so I did put the downstrokes for that. So if you're using pick, remember it's just down. Okay, so let's try 4 right now, and I think I will connect it just so you can hear it. 2, here's the 1, here's 1, 2, ready, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rest 8 notes. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat the 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the end of that. Okay, so basically it's basically just connecting, and it's just but you don't have to connect. You don't have to connect, and just make sure you're in time and alternating the fingers. You know, the timing gets better, and so now I'm gonna switch to the actual skipping of the strings. So now we're gonna basically play where we're actually skipping strings. The first section was just getting acclimated to the motion of the 2/4, and I like 2/4 because I feel I can explain, do different variations and different patterns that are a lot easier. So I'm using 2/4 because I think it's practical. And so here in this case, we're gonna play the same motion. I'm gonna go 6. Will be the first, and then I'm skipping to the 4th string. So I'm gonna go 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, and I'm gonna go back doing the same thing. 4, and I'm going to repeat. So I'll do each one twice. Here we are. We're going to do number 1, skipping at the strings. And actually in this case, I want to go ahead and play it once, calling it out. Second time, I'm not going to call it out. I'm just going to let you go ahead and see if you can remember the order. If you have to look at it, it's awesome. But let's do one with me calling it out on the repeat. Once we come back, we won't call it. I just might say the first one just so you know that's where we are. So here's 6. So it's 1, 2, ready, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, back to 4. Okay, I think that's good. I mean, something you can sort of get a feel for it. Hopefully the first time through will guide you with me saying it. Here's the same process on 2. Okay, so basically I'm going to just play it once and then say it and then repeat with no, I'm not going to say anything. Okay, here's the quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, play, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, repeat. Okay, so now same thing, number 3. Now there's going to be basically 8 notes. So we're again, now if you're using the pick, you have to alternate down, up, down, up. So I'll call them out the first time, second time on the repeat. You just play with it. Okay, and count. Okay, here's the tempo. 1, 2, ready, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6. Okay, good. So now we're going to go ahead and do 4 and 5. And on this one, it's now we're moving each particular beat. So like 6 will be 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. And so now the actual precision is it's not faster, but you got to move a little quicker to get to the next note. So we'll start on 4, and we'll just play it as it's written. And so I'll repeat it once and say it, and then I'll go ahead and not say the notes or not say the actual string numbers. And so hopefully this turns out good. Here's the tempo. Again, we're keeping everything at 65. 2, ready, 6, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6. Number 5. So here's the tempo. 2, 1, 2, ready, 6, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6. Okay, that was just the ending of all, just the last one. And it's, I'm not gonna say it's short, it should be even. So you'll hear it as one and stop, 1 and stop, 1 and stop. Again, you can use the right hand to stop it to 1 and, or you can use the left hand and just basically press a little softer. So it's 1 and stop, okay? So all of these particular things are just things that we do to really get used to what it is to skip strings. It's very important to be accurate, and it's just really to be able to hit the strings. These particular exercises are mainly so you can feel what the distance. You hear this stuff always when people are playing a song and they just want to break up that chord, like we call them broken chords. You always hear stuff like where you hear, I guess when you hear stuff like, so you have that motion and that separation. And again, with people that if they use pick, they'll do sort of the same thing. Maybe it might be a little bit more work, because you're going to use basically maybe the other fingers, but it's not going to be any different. Okay, the nice thing is just to really get the separation. And okay, thumb pick or thumb pick too. So now you have the same thing. Some people really like that. And I'm just sort of explaining that just so you can hear the arpeggio. There is really no one way to do it. There's many ways to do it. All right, so hope this helps, and I hope you hope it makes sense to you. Is there any comments on this? Anything that I did? Feel free to send a comment, because I really at this point, as it gets a little trickier, maybe there's things there that you need more information on. So feel free to send a comment, and we'll respond to you. So. Hope everything was good, and I hope to catch you on our next lesson. Thank you.